When I was really little, something nasty got into my blood. I didn't understand the word for it back then, leukemia, but I understood the way grown-ups' faces changed when they heard it. The way nurses looked at me like I was already a ghost. The way Daddy started carrying guilt like a second spine. Daddy took me to every hospital he could find. Big ones, small ones, a clinic 2 towns over that smelled like bleach and old regret. Each time the doctors spoke softer and softer, their eyes sliding toward the floor. Eventually, Daddy ran out of money. That's when Auntie said we just needed to pray harder. Daddy said, "God let my child get leukemia. I'll take my chances with the devil." I didn't know if he meant it, but the day he found that business card, I realized he meant every single word. It was sitting on our kitchen table like someone had just placed it there. Not mailed, not slipped under the door, just waiting. A plain white card with embossed letters that shimmered like oil. "A kindly," and a phone number. No address, no hours, no explanation. Daddy stared at it for a long time, then he picked up the phone. Later, he told me the voice on the other end was a woman's, calm, sweet, even. She gave him the address and told him the shop was always open for those in need. Then she hung up. But when we showed up, there was no woman. In fact, there was no sign, no posted hours, nothing. The building was squeezed impossibly tight between a chiropractor clinic and an abandoned ice cream shop, like it had sprouted there overnight and nobody questioned it. That whole part of town was sketchy. Every window had bars on it except for the pawn shop we were heading toward. I figured the owner must have been too cheap or too confident to bother with security. Inside, I realized he had nothing worth stealing anyway. I'd been in a few pawn shops before. Daddy liked to browse for tools he couldn't afford brand new, but this place was nothing like those. Instead of guitars and jewelry and dusty glass cases, every shelf was lined with jars. Jars full of murky formaldehyde. Floating inside were things I couldn't identify. Organs, skin, pieces of bone. At first I told myself they were from animals like the ones my cousins dissected in biology. Then I saw the jar full of fingers. Human fingers, all different sizes, like they'd been collected over years. My chest tightened. If Daddy hadn't been holding my hand, I think I would have run. Before I could ask him what kind of pawn shop this was, a bell above the door chimed. A man stepped out from the back room. He wore a black mask, one of those plague doctor masks with a long bird beak. A black top hat sat on his head, but the rest of his outfit was almost clownish. Loud purples and reds twisted together like someone had mashed a rainbow through a meat grinder. His lips were barely visible under the mask, but I could see them curl into a smile. "Salutations," he croaked. "I'm Mr. Kindly." Daddy cleared his throat. "I spoke with your assistant over the phone." Mr. Kindly tilted his head. The movement was too slow, too deliberate. "I have no asterisk assistant." "There was a girl," Daddy insisted. Young, soft voice. "It's just me," Kindly said, inhaling sharply. The sound was like a crow trying to cough. He lowered his head so I could see the whites of his eyes beneath the mask, wide and round, the way a cornered dog looks. Daddy made a grunt but didn't argue. Maybe he didn't want to start a fight with a man who collected fingers. I looked around again, my stomach churning. "What's going on with this place?" I whispered. Daddy shushed me, but Mr. Kindly chuckled, waving one gloved hand dismissively. "You see, child," he said, "every person in this world has something they want to get rid of but can't. A physical ailment, an addiction, a personality flaw, a mental compulsion, a bad memory, unwanted responsibilities, guilt, a cursed object." He leaned closer. "Everyone has their reason for coming here. I'm merely the individual who takes away the thing they want gone. All questions are answered there." He pointed toward a wooden sign hanging on the wall. I hadn't noticed it before. The letters were carved deep, almost gouged. "The price is always equal. Not always fair, but always equal." I didn't understand it then, not really, but Daddy stared at that sign for a long time, long enough that I tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy, what are we doing?" He didn't look at me. "We're getting you better." Mr. Kindly clapped his hands together. The sound echoed far too loudly for such a small room. "Splendid, then let's discuss your transaction." "Transaction. Not treatment. Not cure. Transaction." I suddenly felt like we weren't in a pawn shop at all, more like a courtroom or a trap. Kindly ushered us to the back of the store where a curtain hung, heavy and dark. Behind it was a single chair, something between a dentist chair and an electric chair. Leather straps hung from the armrests. I don't like this, I whispered. Daddy squeezed my shoulder. It'll be quick, he said, it'll take away the sickness. I said, kindly corrected, I will take away what you ask me to. Daddy ignored him. Sweetheart, I can't lose you, not like your mom. His voice broke. He tried to hide it, but I heard. He guided me toward the chair. My legs refused to move. Mr. Kindly watched with those wide, hungry eyes. Before we begin, he said softly, we must establish the price. Daddy reached into his pocket and pulled out the little velvet bag Auntie had given him, the one with Mama's wedding ring inside. I have this, he said, solid gold, it's all I. Kindly cut him off with a dismissive flutter of his hand. No, 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 physical trinkets mean nothing here, the price must match what you wish removed, such is the rule. Daddy swallowed, then what do you want? Mr. Kindly turned to look at me. His voice dropped to a murmur almost too quiet to hear. For a life prolonged, I require a life diminished. Daddy frowned. What the hell does that mean? It means, Kindly said, that once your child is cured, something else must be taken, something of equal weight. I felt the room tilt, equal weight like another life. Oh no, he said cheerfully, killing is crude, brutish, ideal in subtleties. Daddy clenched his fists. Tell me the price. Kindly stepped closer to him. Your memories. Daddy blinked. What? I will cure your child, Kindly said, and in exchange I will take every memory you have of them. You will wake tomorrow believing you never had a child. Your life will go back to its natural shape. You will be free from fear, from grief, from loss. He turned to me. And they will be free from sickness. My breath hitched. Daddy, no, you can't. Daddy knelt in front of me, his eyes were wet. Sweetheart, you could live, you could grow up, you could be anything if this is the price. I don't want to be cured if it means you forget me, I cried. I don't want to lose you. But he was already standing, already made of resolve. It's worth it, he said. I lunged forward, grabbing his shirt, but Kindly gently pried me off with cold hands. The decision is made, he crooned. I screamed, I begged. Daddy didn't look at me, he didn't dare. If he had, maybe he would have changed his mind. Maybe I wouldn't be telling this story. Kindly strapped me into the chair. His fingers were impossibly long. He hummed while he tightened the buckles. Then he placed his hand over my chest. A cold so sharp it burned shot through me. I felt something tearing out of me, a darkness, a sickness, a thing I didn't know had weight until it was being pulled free. I screamed until my voice broke. When it was over, I gasped for air. The straps loosened on their own. I stumbled out of the chair, weak but alive, alive in a way I hadn't felt in years. Daddy stood at the far wall, swaying. His eyes were empty. Kindly placed a hand on his shoulder. All done, you may go now. Daddy looked at him confused. Do I owe you anything? Not anymore, Kindly said. Daddy nodded slowly, then walked out of the shop. He didn't look back, didn't pause, didn't see me crying on the floor. And Mr. Kindly turned to me. You're free, he said kindly. Go on, little one, your father has paid your price. I ran after Daddy, but by the time I got outside, he was already halfway down the street, walking like a man late for work, not like a father leaving his child behind forever. I called his name. He didn't even flinch. That was years ago. I survived. I grew up. But every year on the anniversary of that day, I find a business card on my table. A white card. Embossed letters. A Kindly. No matter how many I burn, another always appears. And every time I see one, I wonder, if the price is always equal, what will he come to collect next?